What is the history of drug laws in criminal justice? Imagine a time when using certain plants or substances was just part of daily life, with no rules or restrictions. That was the reality before the early 1900s. Back then, many drugs like marijuana, opium, and coca leaves were used openly and without regulation. As societies grew and trade expanded, concerns about health and morality started to rise. The first major federal law came in 1937 with the Marijuana Tax Act. It didn't outright ban marijuana but made it very expensive and difficult to sell or possess. This law marked the beginning of government control over drugs. Moving into the mid-1900s, laws became harsher. The Federal Bureau of Narcotics, created in 1930, started cracking down on drug use and trafficking. In the 1950s, laws like the Boggs Act and the Narcotic Control Act introduced mandatory minimum sentences. That meant if you were caught with certain drugs, you faced strict jail time, regardless of circumstances. These laws often targeted minority communities and led to many long prison sentences for small offenses. A turning point happened in 1970 with the creation of the Controlled Substances Act. This law set up a system to classify drugs into 5 schedules based on their potential for abuse and medical use. It was a way to organize and control drugs more systematically. In 1973, the Drug Enforcement Administration was formed to enforce these rules and fight drug trafficking. During this time, the United States also launched the War on Drugs under President Richard Nixon. This campaign increased law enforcement efforts and penalties for drug crimes. It also focused on political dissenters and minority groups, often leading to aggressive policing. States followed suit, creating their own drug laws that matched federal classifications. This led to a surge in arrests and prosecutions for drug-related crimes. By the 1990s and early 2000s, drug offenses made up a large part of the prison population, with many serving long sentences for possession or small-scale trafficking. In response to the rising number of cases and recognizing addiction as a health issue, drug courts started appearing in the 1970s. These courts aimed to help addicted offenders by offering treatment instead of jail time. They focused on rehabilitation and supervised programs, changing how courts handled drug cases. Looking at courtroom history, these laws and policies show how the legal system has evolved from strict punishment to more treatment-focused approaches. Courts have had to adapt procedures, sentencing, and even create specialized drug courts to deal with the changing understanding of drug use and addiction. This ongoing shift reflects society's efforts to balance enforcement with health and social concerns.